During the Tournament of Power, Goku showed that when put under extreme pressure, he could access the power of the gods. In the anime, this power is pretty much confirmed to exceed the gods of destruction themselves. Don't worry about manga scaling for Ultra Instinct Goku, since this story will be following the anime continuity. While Beerus was relieved that his universe won the Tournament of Power, and even pleased Zeno in the process, he couldn't help but have a strange feeling. The thought was put to the back of his mind for the moment until the Saiyan known as Broly arrived on Earth. Broly was near the level of Beerus himself, and a fusion of Goku and Vegeta was more than enough to handle the brutish Saiyan. Now, this was getting out of hand. While Beerus could have probably handled Broly on his own, the fused Saiyan was a different issue. It was easy for Beerus to instill fear into Vegeta, but Goku wasn't easy to keep under control. Goku went to Zeno's palace against Beerus's will. His whole demeanor with Zeno is too friendly and a threat to the universe as a whole. Not only does Beerus fear for his own safety, but he also is afraid that the universe he's in charge of will be lost as well. So as the Broly situation wraps up and Whis returns to Beerus, he tells his attendant that they will no longer be so lenient with mortals.
We've treated these mortals too kindly, and I'm getting tired of it. It's time for us to make an example of one.
Whis nods his head and says, "Whatever you wish, my lord, but I do hope you don't come to regret this decision." Beerus scoffs at the idea that he'd ever make a mistake, and Whis chuckles to himself, remembering that Beerus was the one who wanted to keep a closer eye on the two Saiyans in the first place. Beerus asks what's so funny, and Whis replies that it's nothing, before leaving Earth for what Beerus thinks will be the last time ever. A few days pass, and Goku teleports from Vampa to Earth. The ending of the Broly movie has just happened, and Goku has given Broly, Cheelai, and Lemmo supplies to live a good and healthy life wherever they go. Once he gets to Earth, Bulma finds him and tells him that Whis has called for Goku to come to Beerus's planet immediately. Using the communicator, Goku calls Whis and asks if everything is okay. Whis tells him that he has some training for Goku to do in order for him to further his control and understanding of Ultra Instinct. It's Beerus himself that ordered this, so he has to come today. Goku starts getting excited at the thought of finally controlling that power, so he says he'll leave immediately. Whis asks if Goku needs a flight over, but Goku says he's gotten better at sensing God Ki, so he'll be able to get there on his own with instant transmission. "Well, that saves me the trouble, but before you go, it may be best to tell your family goodbye. This training will take some time after all." Goku understands and hangs up the communicator. He tells Bulma it'll be a while before he comes back to Earth and tells her to take care. She wishes him luck as he teleports away. In an instant, he's gone, but Bulma just stands there with an uneasy feeling. Before Bulma could figure out what was bothering her, Bra starts crying, so she goes back to her daughter instead of dwelling on the thought. Goku appears outside his home on Mount Paozu. He steps inside only to be tackled by Goten, who wants a hug from his father. Goku picks him up and tells Goten that he's going to train with Whis for a bit. When he gets back, they'll go on a camping trip and eat some massive fish. Goten is excited and tells his dad he hopes his training goes well so he could come home quickly. Goku says he'll do his best, then asks where Chi-Chi is. She steps out into the kitchen and gets a little annoyed at Goku for leaving again to train, but he tells her that it's a direct order from Beerus. He might actually destroy the Earth if he doesn't go. She sighs and tells him it's fine, but he could at least pretend like he isn't excited to go train again. Chi-Chi kisses her husband on his forehead and wishes him good luck. Goku says he's gonna master Ultra Instinct and show Goten when he gets back. Goten gets excited all over again, and Goku waves as he teleports away. Before going to Beerus's world, Goku stops at Gohan's house. He takes the chance to hold his granddaughter and tells his son and Piccolo, who's visiting at the time, that he's going to be gone for a little while so he can master Ultra Instinct. Gohan asks what his father's talking about, so Goku explains what Whis said. Piccolo asks if Goku thinks this seems a little weird. Beerus usually asks for something in return for using his world, and even then it doesn't seem like he really ever cared too much about Goku's training. Gohan agrees and asks his father if he's sure everything is normal with Lord Beerus. Goku thinks it over and says,
I think Beerus always wanted a true rival like his dream set or whatever, so maybe he thinks training me to master Ultra Instinct will get me there quicker.
Gohan trusts his father's instincts and tells him to master Ultra Instinct quickly. When Goku comes back to Earth, Gohan will have created and mastered his own new power for sure. Goku tells his son that he can't wait to see it and gives them all a big goodbye, lifting Pan into the air like she's flying before he goes. With his fingers to his forehead, Goku quickly finds Beerus's God Ki and teleports to his planet. Gohan asks Piccolo if he thinks everything will be alright, but Piccolo tells Gohan he should believe what what he said. They just have to trust Goku's instincts here. Goku arrives on Beerus's world and is instantly greeted by the two. Goku apologizes that he couldn't bring any food on such short notice, but Beerus says he's not hungry anyway. Should another tournament of power happen, they need to be prepared for beings like Jiren, so mastering Ultra Instinct is their top priority for protecting Universe 7. Goku exclaims that that's the reason he ordered this training, and Beerus looks away before saying yes.
I knew you must have had a reason. Everyone else was a little concerned, but I always knew you were a good guy.
Beerus doesn't reply and simply tells Whis to get to work before walking away. Whis nods and asks Goku if he remembers the dimension within Whis' staff. Goku says of course he does. That's the place he mastered God Ki and discovered Super Saiyan Blue after all. Whis tells him that he's going back to that realm, but Whis has altered it, so instead of God Ki, it's a calm heart and mind that are required to move in the dimension. In the Tournament of Power, Goku's Ultra Instinct was explosive, and that backfired. Now he wants to try having Goku access the ability and the form the proper way. Goku is about to ask about food, but before he can, Whis transports Goku into the staff where he begins to float around aimlessly and unable to move on his own. He notices that this time, Whis' staff transports itself back out of the dimension, and this just confirms to Goku that he'll be training there for a while. As Goku readies himself for this training, he notices something is very different. This time, his restraints are physically represented by chains holding him in place.
This is where I'll master Ultra Instinct, huh? Better begin trying to calm myself then.
Meanwhile, outside the staff, Whis makes his way to Beerus and tells the God of Destruction that it's been done. Goku should never be able to escape the confines of that dimension ever again, so he can no longer affect the universe negatively. Beerus lets out a sigh of relief, but Whis asks, "Why didn't you just destroy him, my lord? It would have been a far simpler task than setting all of this up." Beerus tells Whis not to question him, but if he has to know.
That idiot and his naive outlook are a danger to everything we have. But we only have it because of him. At the very least, he can say some goodbyes and enjoy the limited time he has left.
Unlike the last time Goku trained in this realm, Whis couldn't leave his staff in the dimension with Goku, so Whis had just left a good amount of food within the dimension itself as per Beerus' request. This was meant to look like an accident to Goku as much as possible, while in the realm of the living, this would be a warning to all. The God of Destruction has a job to do, beyond all perceived friendships. Almost an entire year has passed, and Vegeta asks Bulma for her communicator. He wants to train with Whis immediately since he's been stuck home for too long. She hands it to him, but he quickly realizes that nothing's happening. He asks her if she broke it, and she says no, she hasn't touched it since Whis used it to call Goku to Beerus' world. Beerus ordered Goku to train, and then nothing since. Vegeta is shocked to hear that and asks if anyone has heard from Goku since, but she tells him that this training is supposed to take a long time. He was told to even say goodbye to his family. Bulma says she got distracted, but when Whis said that, she got an extremely uneasy feeling. Vegeta tells her that she might have been right. Something is off here. He asks her for the Dragon Radar, and quickly. He has to collect the Dragon Balls since he has no way to Beerus' planet on his own, and Shenron should be able to transport him there, or at the very least bring Goku home if he's in any sort of trouble. Bulma hands him the radar and tells him to save her friend. He nods and flies off. While Vegeta collects the Dragon Balls back on Beerus' planet, inside Whis' staff, Goku floats. He's barely able to control the way he moves, but it's enough that he's been able to find food. By Saiyan standards, he's not eating much. It is enough to survive though. The problem is time moves faster in Whis' staff, and Goku has no idea how long it's actually been. For him, it's felt like years, but it could be less or more. It doesn't help that no matter how hard he tries to keep his heart and mind calm, the chains keep coming back. And even worse, the longer he stays inside, the more he's growing suspicious of Beerus' motives. That only furthers his own emotional distress, but he shakes it off, perhaps naively, and assumes that Beerus being suspicious is part of his training. Back on Earth, Vegeta has managed to gather all the Dragon Balls and summons Shenron, who asks what Vegeta's wishes are. Vegeta gets straight to the point and wishes to be transported to Beerus' world, but Shenron starts to sweat and tells him that he's not allowed to teleport someone to a god's planet. Vegeta then asks for Goku to be brought to Earth instead. Shenron says that shouldn't be a problem. His eyes glow and he searches for Son Goku. Then his eyes dim and he apologizes. The dragon tells Vegeta that Son Goku is in a place beyond Shenron's power to remove him from. Vegeta asks if that means he's on Beerus's world, but he shakes his head. If Goku were on Beerus's world, he'd simply need Goku's permission to teleport him to Earth. But currently, Goku isn't in the normal living universe. That was not the news that Vegeta wanted to hear. Whatever has happened to Goku, it's worse than Vegeta thought, and those wishes were his only plan. He quickly thinks of a last resort and asks to be telepathically linked with Beerus himself. Shenron begins to sweat and asks if there's a different wish he'd prefer, but that's all Vegeta needed to hear. No rules against communication with a god, so he tells the dragon to do it, or Beerus will be the least of his concerns. Shenron gulps and begins a telepathic link between the two. Shenron apologizes as he enters Beerus's mind and tells him he was forced to link the two. Vegeta tells Shenron to keep quiet and asks Beerus what he thinks he's doing with Goku. Beerus lets out a large sigh.
You mortals have become far too friendly with me. To think you couldn't take the hint. What are you talking about, Beerus? You sought us out!
Beerus gets angry and tells Vegeta that he simply used them, but they all became too comfortable, especially Goku.
So take this as your final warning, Saiyan. I gave Goku a mercy in not destroying him. You will not receive the same kindness.
Vegeta is furious now and tells Beerus to come and get him. The fighters of Earth have grown stronger recently, and Beerus won't be allowed to do what he wants with one of their own. Then Shenron ends the communication at Vegeta's request. Shaking now, Shenron asks if he can leave, but Vegeta says not yet. He still has 2 wishes left. Meanwhile, Beerus is engulfed in anger. This plan has completely backfired, but he can't back down now. He tells Whis to grab his staff. They're headed for Earth. It takes 30 minutes to get to Earth, and in that time, Vegeta gathers everyone they have. When Beerus and Whis land, the God of Destruction steps forward and tells Vegeta that this puny resistance won't even be able to put a dent in him. If he wanted to, he could destroy the whole planet right now, but he'll indulge them in a fight. Everyone fighting for Earth begins to power up. They have Piccolo, Tenshinhan, Master Roshi, Krillin, Android 17 and 18, Yamcha, as well as Gohan and Vegeta leading the group. Gohan transforms into his ultimate form and politely asks Beerus to bring his father back, to no response from Beerus. Vegeta transforms into Super Saiyan Blue Evolution and begins to walk forward.
Did you forget that we broke our limits during that tournament? Maybe do that a few more times and you'll stand a chance.
Beerus blitzes past Gohan and Vegeta to quickly take care of the weaker fighters in the back. Only Android 17 makes it out of the assault, and just barely at that. Vegeta quickly turns around and goes after Beerus. They're trading blows to some degree, but it's clear that Beerus is still ahead of Vegeta and is mostly toying with him. Gohan and 17 jump in to help. The 3 begin to work together to try and take advantage of any blind spots. Beerus chuckles to himself as he easily avoids or tanks most of their attacks. That is, until a massive ki blast hits him in the back. As the smoke clears, he says that actually stung a bit. He turns around to see who attacked him, and he sees a lineup of fighters he'd previously knocked out, all of them looking completely fresh as if nothing had happened. Now he was annoyed. He looked around for anything unusual while he kept track of Vegeta, Gohan, and 17 until he noticed Mr. Satan and Mr. Popo. Now things are starting to add up. The God of Earth is a Namekian after all, so he may possess healing abilities, while Mr. Satan was the keeper of Buu, and he'd seen Buu's healing powers firsthand at the Zen exhibition. As Beerus' eyes are focused on the battlefield, Vegeta notices the opening and screams now. Krillin quickly flies up and uses a solar flare times 100. Even Vegeta's ability to sense God Ki is temporarily hindered by that attack, so it'll buy them a moment at least. As Beerus frantically swings his arms around, the effect wears off, and now he's angry. He screams that he's done messing around after he's finished with them. This backwater planet and everyone on it is getting destroyed. That was the wrong thing to say. A large ki begins to build, and it's not from one of the fighters that Beerus has seen yet. Someone else is coming after him.
Do it now, Broly!
By the time Beerus turns around, Broly is right in his face in his Super Saiyan full power form. Gohan asks Vegeta what he wants to do next, and Vegeta tells him to hope that Broly is enough. Back when Shenron was summoned, Vegeta used his 2 remaining wishes to teleport himself to Broly's location and then teleport Broly, Cheelai, and Lemo to Earth. He hates that he had to put those 2 in harm's way, but if he didn't, Broly wouldn't transform the way they needed him to. Broly puts up the best fight of any of them, and Beerus even gives him a compliment, saying that he truly might exceed Beerus' power if he trained. That's when Beerus lands a powerful blow.
But you'd need to live to be able to train. A brute like you could never beat me with such unruly attacks!
This was their last resort. They did all this for Goku, and if Broly isn't enough, it'll be for nothing. As Beerus finishes with Broly, he drops the hulking Saiyan to the ground, leaving him barely alive. This is it. There's no hope left. Vegeta tells everyone to get ready. This'll be their final stand. They're all nervous, but are ready to die for what they believe in. Vegeta apologizes to his family in his head, and he hopes that Beerus won't destroy the Earth after killing them all. Right as Beerus flies in to finish them off, a brilliant light engulfs the area. He thinks it's another solar flare at first, but this light is different. Whis yells to Beerus, but he can't be heard over the sound the flash of light is making. Then he sees it. Whis' staff is starting to shake in the middle of the light, and it begins to crack. Out of it emerges Goku with brilliant silver hair, the perfected form of Ultra Instinct. Beerus is shocked and asks what Goku thinks he's doing. He sealed the Saiyan away for the greater good of the universe, but Goku remains expressionless.
I used to think everyone would be better off without me too. But getting rid of one person doesn't solve anything. You have to face your problems head on. So face me, Beerus. Head on.
From Goku's perspective, he'd been trapped in the staff for several years, which gave him more than enough time to master Ultra Instinct. Whis lets out a smile, and Beerus yells at Whis, asking if this was his doing. Well, my lord, you told me to make it convincing. So I actually gave him some training advice for while he was locked away. Beerus is annoyed, but he can't lose sight now. If he's lucky, this power is temporary like the Tournament of Power. Maybe he can outlast Goku. But before the thought could even finish, an attack lands. Beerus couldn't even see it. Goku is faster than at the Tournament of Power, and his attacks are sharper. This is very bad.
I could hear some of what was going on from inside that staff. Is it true? Did you do this for the universe? Or were you scared that I could beat you?
Beerus doesn't answer and keeps trying and failing to attack back.
I don't think you're a bad guy, Lord Beerus, and I don't want to be God of Destruction. So end this now!
Beerus stops his next punch halfway. He falls to the ground and admits defeat. As he does, Goku powers down to base, and everyone gathers around. Vegeta goes to get Buu or Dende so they can heal him, but Beerus stops him and has Whis do it. With the tap of a newly made staff, Beerus is fully healed.
You may be naive, but you truly are my greatest rival. If you choose to forgive what I've done, I promise you, I will never do anything like this again.
Goku asks what Beerus plans to do now.
Well, I can't have a mortal be stronger than the God of Destruction. I'll have to start training again and face my problem head on.
Goku lets out a smile as Beerus and Whis fly away. Broly has been healed by Buu, and then Goku takes him, Cheelai, and Lemmo back to Vampa. Piccolo is annoyed and asks how Goku could just let him go. Vegeta adds that he could come back and do the same thing in the future, but Goku just starts laughing.
I think you two should know better than anyone that people deserve second chances.
The two quickly shut up and walk away. Goku says he has to see Chi-Chi and Goten. He promised to show them Ultra Instinct as soon as he mastered it. So, as if nothing even happened, Goku teleports to Mount Paozu. Meanwhile, as Beerus and Whis fly back to Beerus' planet, Whis thinks to himself, so even after all of that, he still refuses to let it sour him. Maybe his purity and naivety make him the perfect person to have a calm heart after all. And so ends the story of Beerus betraying Goku. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and thank you so very much for watching.